Hello, Patreon family. It is time for a new moon Zen card pull. We are entering the new moon in Libra tonight into tomorrow. And I've spent quite a bit of time this week in the podcast and at last night's new moon circle, really talking about the energy that is shifting and available for us today at this time. So we are going to go into a little bit of fun play. So I'm going to mix up the cards, and I'm using my Osho Zen deck again. I do the old-fashioned way of card pulling, which is you smush it all in a big pile and then and then sort it out and make it straight. So let's see. I hope you're doing well and you are ready for all the fun that is going to be arriving. New moon in Libra, everything I've been reading is about ease and grace. Ease and grace, more balance, less stress, less work, more fun. So let's see. All right, we're going to set the intention that the cards that we're going to tune into for this month are going to guide us in the new lunar cycle. And I'm just going to play with them for a second and see what feels right. Do you do this with your cards? It's kind of fun, you know? Like whatever the mood strikes. Like last time I wanted to count 8s. This time I don't. Okay, so we're going to do where we've been, what has been completing over this past month, and then where we are today here at the new moon, and then what it is that we can tune into for the month ahead. All right, so past, rebirth. Did we do this last time? Isn't that funny? That just came up for me. Rebirth. So that's what's completed, which, I mean, Alicia, that like cracks me up. Rebirth. You just completed your album. Like, are you serious? We'll look at that in a moment. All right, and then I'm going to cut the deck again, and we're going to tune into now. What is possible right here at this time? The Lovers. The Lovers card. Yeah, it's not what you think. It's not what you think, but I'll show you. I'll talk about it in just a second. I'm sure some of you are like, yay, my love is arriving, or the love I have is going to be even better. It's not what you think, but it's good. It's really good. All right, and then this is for the month ahead. So Lovers is here now. This is for the month ahead. Oh, so good. Flowering. Flowering. So gorgeous. Look at that card. All right, and then I feel like we're going to do a bonus one from our guides just because we can and because it's a new month and we can play however we want to. So bonus card, integration. Integration. It's going to be a good month, my friends. All right, let me describe a little bit of each to you, and then I'll give you my interpretation of Osho's Zen wisdom. You know, he only trained his entire life, but I'm gonna fill you in on what the card means to me. Okay, let me adjust this so you can see the cards a little better. All right, so this is what is completed. The rebirth card, the way that I understand it, is it talks about the evolution. So how we begin like sleepy. Do you see how the camel at the bottom is like sleepy and not quite sure if there's even anything happening above or around, just in his own little Zen world. And then out of that sleepiness, we start to birth this courage, the lion, right? The courage of the lion, being able to wake up, which is what's been happening and I think will continue to happen in consciousness here in humanity. But we are awakening, and when we awaken from this sleepy camel that's been storing water and sitting for ages, resting, it takes a lot to move us out of that comfort zone, right? So the courage of the lion is, I'm going to roar, I'm going to be really big, and I'm going to awaken with this fierceness, right? And then we evolve. I don't know if you can see how sweet the little child is. We evolve to that sweet little child playing the flute, which is returning back to the innocence, back to the trust that everything is exactly as it's supposed to be. You know, a child who's playing a flute is not worried about food or water or work or home. They're just bringing their art and their music and their gifts to the world. And so that's really what has been happening, I think is going to continue happening for all of us. But it feels like validation that there's a lot that's been shifting. Virgo last month, right? It was a lot. And so we've had this momentum, this movement, this feeling of awakening from sleepiness into something bursting out of us. And then let's move into the space of the innocence and the trust of the child, which takes us right into the Lover's card. So this card, it describes, I'll bring it closer for you, shows reflections of each other, right? With the, can you see in the heart, here, the reflections also down there in the heart. And then the wings and the rose, the highest fragrance is the rose. So what this card describes is the 3 levels of love. Osho says that we have the base level of love, which is what most of us in humanity define as love, the sexual attraction for each other, the typical partnership of 2 people who are interacting at a physical human base need. And then there's the second level of love, which he describes as just the word love. And he said, it's where you start to bring meditation and space into this expression. It's not just this physical connection, right? There's a soul, there's an energy that's moving that is beyond just the physical human coupling that we associate with love. But the movies show us that's what love's all about. You kiss, you have great sex, you fall in love, you're happy forever. That's not what this card describes. The highest level of love, this is the best part of the card. The highest level of love is compassion. It's where you've, how did he say it? It's like the seed, the fragrance. Oh, what is it? How he describes it? Hang on, I'm going to read this part to you because this is really important and really beautiful. He describes, though, that compassion is the highest form of love because then you're bringing in, as you can see at the top of the card, all that light of the divine, right? It changes the whole thing. It changes the whole thing. So let me quickly read you what he says here because it's beautifully described. The lowest love is sex. It is physical. And then love is in the middle, and then compassion is above love. He says, where does he describe this? When your love is not just a desire for the other, when your love is not only a need, when your love is a sharing, when your love is not that of a beggar, but of an emperor, when your love is not asking for something in return, but is ready only to give for the sheer joy of giving, then add meditation to it, and the pure fragrance is released. That is compassion. Compassion is the highest phenomenon. He says, sex is the seed, love is the flower, compassion is the fragrance. So I feel like we're being offered this opportunity right now to, for ourselves first, tune into where we could be more compassionate in our own journeys. A lot of the conversations I've been having with clients, with friends, there's so much self-judgment that's coming up with this Libra energy. You know, we're looking at the balance of the masculine and feminine within ourselves and the ways that we give and we receive and we exchange with other people, the ways that we're in alignment with our own soul, not just partnerships around us, but in our own integrity. And so we can tend to really judge ourselves and, you know, this harsh talk, we just said this last night in circle, this harsh talk that we use on our own selves, that we would never speak to anyone else in that way. And so perhaps this card is just for you individually, right? How can you be the fragrance of compassion just for you? Where can you soften the way that you talk to yourself and allow almost like the voice of the divine to speak to you instead of your not so friendly mind voice? So yeah, perhaps for this weekend, maybe make it a challenge just for this weekend that you can bring the fragrance of compassion in just for you. And then watch, when we have that inner peace and that inner kindness to ourselves, it just changes the way we talk to people. It changes the way people want to talk to us because we feel a little warmer, a little nicer. People want to kind of cuddle up next to us. So give yourself that time and that space for compassion this weekend. Which leads to, speaking of fragrance and flowers, flowering. Isn't this amazing? So this is for the month ahead. Actually, I should probably say the Lovers card would be for next week also. Like it would be for this weekend and into next week. And then flowering would be for the rest of the lunar cycle. So until our next new moon pull. Okay. I mean, I don't know. Is there much I need to add to that? Look at how gorgeous she is. Like she's just free flowing, and she's got the moon around her and this beautiful sphere of energy, all the colors that are just flowing around her arms and down around her clothes, the lotus petal she's sitting on, the water of her emotions underneath her. Like she's so at ease. In the description of the card, they talk about how she's just floating seeds, not worried about where they're going to be planted or how they're going to birth. She's just just sending seeds out because she has all this bounty in her lap. She can just send it wherever it needs to go. I mean, what if we walk this next month in that way? Can you imagine if all of us are just like, it's all good. I'm totally resourced. I'm completely abundant in time and energy and finances and relationships and good health. Like, I'm just going to flower seeds as I walk around the earth. How cool would that be? How cool would that be? And what if we just try it energetically? You know, what if instead of being attached to every outcome and attached that we get something back, we're just sending compassion and kindness and love and, you know, kind words. Oh my gosh, like what a gift a kind word is. Last night in Circle, we were saying the gift of being heard, like truly having someone listen to your story and then exchange back from that real place of connection. What if we are flowering seeds of connection and we do that through moment by moment of just being present? Like right here in this moment, I'm looking at that camera and I know as you look at this, you're seeing me. Like that's this real connection that can happen. What if we start to go into grocery stores and gas stations and families, go into like everything we do, go into work, and we just pause enough that we can be fully present with the person that's across from us and look them in the eye and feel an open heart and a compassion and a flowering that we want to share with them. We will change the game for how all of those around us receive us and engage with us and how they then go out into their communities with a different perspective. So the challenge is on flowering. How are we going to flower in the next month? Which is hysterical because it's like autumn here and everything is dying outside. I mean, the leaves are falling. All the plants have like black dried flowers on them, but we're going to be flowered. And then the bonus, the awesome bonus from our guides. Integration. There is so much in this card. I'm going to hold it steady while you just take a few minutes to look at it. Trust whatever jumps out at you as you see it. So it may be one or two things right away. Take a moment, like actually study the card and see what is present for you. Yeah. So we start at the bottom, right? The serpent is eating its own tail. It's come full circle. Above, we have the hands holding the yin-yang symbol of harmony and unity, balance. Balance for Libra. Above that, we have the Zen face at peace with the sun on one side, the moon on the other side. The animal of the water, which would be the swan on one side, the animal of the air, the eagle on the other side. And above, all the rainbow energy pouring in. And then right at the top, that beautiful diamond with multifaceted, multidimensional awesomeness going right into the crown of the person. It's pretty cool, right? Integration is everything finds its own center and balance. And as we move into this new moon in Libra, that's a pretty strong, powerful energy to guide us. So if we struggle with integration, if we struggle with harmony and balance, what I would say is our guides gave us this card. So ask your guides for help with integration. Like, just ask. And if you're not familiar with how to ask your guides for integration, it goes something like this. Right, you gotta calm all the noise, close your eyes, shut out all the distraction. Get really still and centered inside. Relax the muscles of your body. And then you just ask. That's simple, you just ask. So like, show me one next step of how to integrate all that is moving around me and through me as we move into this new moon in Libra. Show me one next step. And then you wait and you see what that thing is that shows itself to you. And sometimes that's immediate. Like some people see in their mind a color, a vision, a person, a whole movie. Sometimes the whole movie's playing out. Trust it. Trust it when you're still and you're quiet and you're asking in this sacred space with your guides. Trust what they show you. They want to communicate. They gave us this card of integration. They want to help. Sometimes it plays out in physical ways. So you may finish watching this video, go back to your computer, and there's something there, either a video link or an email from someone or an old picture you haven't seen in a while, or I don't know, right? Like something will show up and it's a direct answer to the thing that you were just asking for. Trust it, do the thing, watch the video, read the email. Maybe it's several sequence of things over a day or two. You know, you hear the same name, and so you realize you need to call the person with that name, or you hear about this book or this song and or this country or this thing, and it's consistent. It's like multiple times the same thing is showing up for you. Believe it. They're helping you integrate. Integration. So then do the thing, follow the path, you know, allow yourself to be guided into this beautiful stream of support that they're surrounding you with. Yeah, it's good stuff. Okay, one last time. Rebirth may be complete, we hope, for now. The lovers this weekend and over the next week, turn to compassion. Focus on compassion for self first, and then for others around you. Sow some seeds of love everywhere you're going. Flowering is real. Do it, even if it's winter and autumn over here. Not winter, autumn. And then ask your guides for support as you integrate all of this. It's good. It's going to be a good month. It's going to be a good month. All right, my loves. Happy new moon in Libra. Mwah!